Hi everyone, I'm Josh and this is Josh Wright Piano TV. Thanks so much for joining me today. I wanted to share a quick tip of something that I've been doing, and this is dangerous advice if you do it in the wrong time of your development with a piece. So I've been working really hard on for a concert next month. It should be live streamed. I will post that on my Instagram account. If you aren't following me there, go check that out. It's at Josh Wright Piano. And I've been working on a bunch of new repertoire, actually, a couple of Volodos transcriptions, which I'm just absolutely crazy about. The first movement of the Chopin Concerto, which I'll be playing along with my wife. She'll be playing the orchestra part. I'll probably be doing Moonlight Sonata, the full thing, since I just learned that third movement for the first time a few months back. And then I'm debating on a couple of other pieces. And the Mushkovsky Etude that I just posted a video about. Anyway, this piece has been a beast to memorize. It's the transcription of the cello sonata. Okay, it's just so wonderful. I think Volodos must be one of the most talented pianists in the last century. What a genius when it comes to transcribing such gorgeous pieces. I mean, he is dealing with great material. Rachmaninoff wrote absolutely beautiful pieces that he is transcribing, but those are very, very special transcriptions. I feel very privileged when I play them. Each time it's like I'm discovering something new. So if you ever happen to see it, Mr. Volodos, thank you so much. Anyway, one of the things that I've been doing, and this is a tip that I wanted to convey to each of you that I think is really valuable. It's something that my teacher at Michigan taught me, Logan Skelton. We talk so much on this channel about let's break it down into tiny sections. Let's identify the note that is throwing you off and then build out from there. Let's identify sections. Let's break down the form. Is this sonata form? Is it ternary form? What are some landmark notes that you might remember? Have you broken down the harmony? We go through all of these checklists and we break it down so that we have a good understanding of the music, that we have a really good intellectual memory so we can kind of see things on the page in our mind, hear things, know the touch, visually see things that we're going to do. Where am I going to be looking? If I'm playing La Campanella, am I looking at the bottom note? After all that has been worked out and you are finishing the memorizing phase, that is the time when I feel like you really need to just start playing through your piece a lot. It doesn't mean that you don't do any of that breakdown practice. I always am breaking it down and checking things. Just today on that arrangement, let's see, I'm not going to open my music. It's where it goes. Let's see. Where it has that gorgeous inner line. I didn't really like the way I was playing it, so I was listening to Volodos play it while I was exercising this morning, and then I went to the piano and started experimenting with that. And so I'm breaking it down. But yesterday I played through that piece probably 10 times. Again, if there's any blaring errors, I go back and I fix those between playthroughs. But playing through your piece is not a bad thing after you've worked out all the mechanics, the fundamentals, the analysis. Playing through that in the final phases of memorizing helps to make different connections. I noticed as I was playing through it yesterday, I'd have different cues. If I forgot something one time and I had to open my music back up, the next time I played through that was a mental cue, like, oh yeah, this is the G in the left hand. You've got to remember to go to that. Or, oh, so go to the G and then go down to the F. I was doing F. I was mixing mixing that up. So the next time I went through it, it was a mental cue, and then I started to reinforce that mental cue each time, and then I stopped missing that. And so I think that is a valuable piece of advice. My teacher at Michigan would always, I don't know why I just don't call him Logan, Logan Skelton would always tell me, Josh, you have the strangest issues I've ever seen, because you've clearly worked things out in your practicing. You're very polished, and then you'll just have these little memory lapses just randomly. I remember I was playing the Chopin Sonata, and like in these middle sections, I might have a little mess up there. And he said, it's so random. How are you practicing? And I told him all the correct answers. Oh, I'm breaking it down. I'm analyzing. He's like, how much playthrough are you actually doing? And I was like, maybe once a day. That's probably even maybe too much. He's like, it's not even close to enough. And that was a good indication. Again, the advice that I'm giving is dangerous, because most people do too much of what I'm saying. They just play through their piece. They say, okay, I'm about to start my practice session. Let me play through my entire piece, and then I'll kind of see some trouble spots. Then I'll play through it again. Then I'll see some trouble spots and play through it again. They do that starting out. That's actually a terrible way to learn, in my experience. With all the students I've taught, it's best to start with your hard work each day and then build out to bigger sections throughout your practicing, so you're ending with a big playthrough. Except right before a performance, you need to get a lot of flow going, and even in this final stage of memorizing, to really solidify the memory, that helps tremendously. So take that advice with the prerequisite piece of advice that you need to do this at a certain point in your development. And usually I like that when I'm finishing up memorizing. I like to be playing through the piece a lot. And that builds a lot of confidence. You notice a lot of issues come up when you start doing that, and you're able to go back and fix those issues and create those mental cues that I talked about. So I hope that is helpful to each of you in your studies. Piano is such a difficult endeavor. Studying the piano is such a difficult endeavor, and I'm discovering new things all the time. People think that once you finish your doctorate in piano, you must know everything there is to know about piano, but I'm very humbled. Each day I'm learning new things. I learn so much from my private students. I also learn a lot from you guys who write in questions, asking me to make videos on certain things that I may not have thought of, or may not have thought of in a certain way before. So thank you to this entire community that surrounds this channel. It's a fun endeavor that I plan to continue, that I plan on continuing for many years to come. If any of you have any questions, my email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. I'm going to leave a few links in the description below. One of them is for a free webinar containing 10 of my favorite tips that I use each day in my teaching and my own practicing. I actually practice what I preach. I put those into use each day. I'm going to leave a couple of links for a couple of my paid courses if you want to go even deeper than this channel explores, and then a link to my kit, which includes all the gear that I use to film these videos, a big list of beginner books, a list of theory books, and some other fun things like recordings and books that I enjoy as well. Again, my email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. If you have any questions, have a great week. Good luck in your practice sessions.